This is pre-calculus section 5.6, notes on equations with logarithmic and constant terms. And so for this problem, we've got some logs on the right, but there isn't a log on, we've got logs on the left, but there isn't a log on the right. So this is handled a little differently than the ones on the previous video. All right, so here's how I'm going to handle this one. First of all, on the left, I want to rewrite that as all one log. I've got two different logs added together. So two different logs added together would be the same as one log where you multiply what those things we're taking a log of. So here's what that looks like. I'm going to take the log of x times x minus 3. Okay. I'm going to simplify what's inside the parentheses. All right, so now I've got all one log. All right, so with these problems, I can't just undo log on both sides because there isn't a log on both sides. So here's what I'm going to have to do instead. The inverse of log base 10 is 10 to the power of something, okay? So to get rid of log, I have to take 10 and raise it to the power of that whole thing. And so if I take 10 and raise it to that power, I'm going to do the same thing on the right. I'm taking 10 and raising it to the power of what's on the right. Okay? So now 10 to the power of log base 10 are inverses. They undo each other. So I am just left with x squared minus 3x equals 10. All right. This is a quadratic equation. I'm going to set it equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 10. Okay, this is factorable. I need factors of negative 10, whose sum is negative 3, negative 5, and positive 2. And solving both of those factors gives us x equals 5 and x equals negative 2. Now, with these problems, you have to check for extraneous solutions. Okay? Remember that negative numbers are not in the domain of log. So what we're saying is that both of those values for x give true statements in the original equation. But if I were to plug that negative 2 here, okay, I would be taking the log of a negative number, which I can't do. And so therefore, that one is not a solution. The only solution is x equals 5. All right, next problem. Okay. All right, so for this problem, I don't have to get it all in terms of one log because it already is. All right, I'm going to use the same method to undo a log. I'm going to take 10 and raise it to what's on both sides of the equal sign. So I've got on the left 10 to the power of log of the square root of x squared minus 1. And on the right, I've got 10 to the power of 2. Okay, so 10 to the power of common log are inverses of each other. So I've just got square root of x squared minus 1 equals 100. All right, now I'm going to solve this. Okay, so to undo the square root, I'm going to square both sides. So I've got x squared minus 1 equals 10,000. Add 1 to both sides. Comes 10,001. Take the square root of both sides. All right, calculator. Okay, so I'm going to go decimal for this. The square root of 10,001 is approximately, rounded to rounded to 4 places after the decimal, it is approximately 100.005. 100.005. All right, so I need to check for extraneous solutions. Okay. And again, I'm going to use a calculator here, all right? I'm going to go back up to the original problem, get out my calculator, all right? And I'm just going to plug 100.005 in for x into the original equation. So I'm going to start out by doing 100.005, and I'm going to square it. And I am going to subtract 1. Okay, take the square root of that answer. Okay, and I'm going to take the log of that answer. And I see that that equals approximately 2. Okay. So I'm good so far. But now what I want to do is I want to check the negative. Remember, we had positive and negative 100.005. So now what I want to do is I want to check negative 100.005. Okay, and here's the key. When I take that negative and square it, it becomes positive, right? And so the negative goes away. We're not taking the square root of a negative when we do that, all right? So there it is squared, subtract 1, okay, square root, okay, log, and again we get approximately 2, okay? So therefore, both of these are true and correct answers. All right, that's it for that video.